Even as their bodies begin to rot, salmon push against the current, determined to return to their birthplace. Only by going home can they ensure the survival of their species. August marks the start of salmon breeding season, when over 600 million salmon gather in the ocean. They'll travel thousands of miles to return to their native rivers to spawn. As wanderers of the sea, salmon possess the most extraordinary navigation abilities in nature. Without any instruments, they can pinpoint their way home across 73 million square miles of ocean. Once they enter the rivers, salmon stop eating entirely. This is where they face their first homecoming challenge: raging rapids and hungry brown bears that haven't eaten for a year. After their long journey, some salmon are already exhausted, and despite giving it everything they've got, they'll be eliminated here. The survivors continue fighting upstream, but this is far from their only obstacle. Having spent most of their lives in salt water, the salmon's skin cells can no longer adapt to fresh water. Their skin begins to peel off, making them vulnerable to water parasites. At this stage, about 90% of the remaining salmon will be eliminated. After several rounds of natural selection, very few salmon remain. To make it home with their dwindling energy reserves, they produce large amounts of hemoglobin, turning their entire bodies red. Only through this transformation can they convert their remaining energy into the power needed to push toward their final destination, home. After months of grueling travel, the salmon finally reached their spawning grounds. But at the river mouth, they faced another challenge: brown bears waiting to ambush them. For these bears, salmon are their most essential food source. Without these fish to build up their fat reserves, the bears wouldn't survive the long winter ahead. The bears are smart hunters. They know exactly which parts of the salmon contain the most fat. So when they catch one, they only eat the eggs and skin, discarding the rest. For the salmon that escaped the bears' clutches, the final destination awaited, the same place where they were born, and where their lives would end. Female salmon use their tail fins to dig holes in the sandy riverbed and lay their eggs, while males hovered nearby to fertilize them. After completing this final act, the salmon, completely drained of energy, sank to the bottom of the river. Their bodies began to decompose, turning into nutrients that would feed their newborn offspring. 3 to 4 weeks later, these baby salmon hatched. They'd spend their early lives in freshwater before returning to the ocean. And someday, like their parents, they too would make the same magnificent journey home.